Today I'm going to talk about how you can use a movie script to sell your products. By the way, if you like videos on how to grow your customer list and build a real brand, then subscribe to my channel as I have new videos each week.
It's the Morning Marketing Machine, here to grow your e-commerce business with proven marketing strategies and tactics, so you can run your business with machine-like precision. My name is Douglas Levin. Let's dive in.
Hi, my name is Douglas Levin, and I built a 20,000 person messenger list ahead of the launch of our first product, which led to 20,000 in monthly sales within our first 3 months of launch. I also have a link to a free cheat sheet below with tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income. Are you losing engagement from your list? Or maybe you're having a hard time getting people to care at all about your brand? And you're just not sure what's going to help them so they can start to care about your brand? Well, one of the things you may want to look out for and start using is a book called Building a Storybrand. So if you ever heard Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, he's talked about something called the Hero's Two Journeys. It's a similar concept to the book Building a Storybrand by Donald Miller. And the book Building a Storybrand, I first heard of from Carlos Alvarez from the Wizards of Amazon Facebook group. It's a great way to work on branding as it relates to your brand so that your ideal customer will be excited by your brand and want to buy from you. So the idea behind building a story brand, it comes from the Hollywood movies that you've probably seen, right? So it basically like, why do we care about the star of the movies that we love, right? It's because they start off as a nobody, like, and they have this kind of journey that they go through where they battle through villains and all these tough circumstances, and eventually they become the person that they were always meant to be, like the true hero, right? So that's the idea in like pretty much most Hollywood movies. Like I know Russell has talked about it in terms of the Hero's Two Journeys, where if you actually look at the way that most Hollywood movies are scripted, there's all of these basic plot points in every single movie, at least all of the successful ones, and it really gets into our desire of what we want out of life. Like we want to be that hero, right? We want to come from nothing, come from this place of like anonymity, and end up going through all these struggles and all these battles and come out beating our villains and being the hero, right? So that that's the idea in terms of obviously Heroes Two Journeys, and also what we're going to talk about in terms of the book Building a Story Brand. So when you look at that, and when you're looking at specifically from the idea of building a story brand, there are 7 steps in that journey that you want to take your ideal customer through. And what you're doing is you're basically taking this idea from the Hollywood movie, and this is what they talk about in building story brand, where you're going to lay out these steps with your customer as the hero, and take them on this exciting journey where they're going to want to buy from you at the end of it. So the first step in this journey is a character, right? So what does your character want, right? What is your ideal customer, like, who is going to be the hero in this journey? You and as the brand are not the hero. This is where a lot of brands get messed up, and they want to put all these things in where they say how amazing we are and buy our crap because of all these amazing things that we do. It puts a bad light on you guys. It makes you guys look like the hero, and then your ideal customer is not going to care. They always look at themselves as the hero in their own eyes. And if you guys are looking at your brand as the hero, they're going to tune you out. So you first want to look at it from the idea of the character. What does your customer want? Because they are the star of the movie. You are not the star of the movie. So your copy about how awesome you are is going to completely fall flat, right? So think about the problem that your ideal customer is having. Like, what is it that they want? And start there. The second part in this journey is that they have a problem. So every story has a villain, right? And this right now that we're going to go through is no different. You want to introduce some sort of villain, the thing that your ideal customer is fighting against. So I think in building a story brand, they talk about the idea of like humanizing like fungus and all of these other things depending on what kind of product that was being sold. So you want to think of how you can have something that you're fighting against, some type of villain. So think of like what issues are they having, right? If they're overweight, then you could speak to that in terms of some of the what they are fighting against that could be a villain to them that you're going to fight against as well. Obviously, it's going to align with both your values and as a brand and their values. But you want to start thinking of that in terms of something that they can fight against. You also want to look at it from the idea of an external, an internal, and a philosophical point of view. So in terms of like the external, it might be like something that they want, right? I want this thing, and then you're going to speak to that. Internally, you may look at it like, well, I'm confused. I have self-doubt about whatever this thing is, right? So that's the internal like monologue that's going on in their head. And when you're looking at the philosophical part of it, you're looking at like, I wish I didn't have to deal with this, whatever this thing is, being so difficult. You want to call all those kind of parts out of it while you're picking on the villain as well, and you're calling them out, because obviously that's what they're fighting against. So that's number 2. And number 3 is that they meet a guide. So this is where you're introduced, right? So you've already got the character and you've got the villain and the problem that they've got. So now you guys are coming on as the brand, right? So you explain how you understand how they felt, and because you were there, you've overcome this problem that they're having right now. You've already done it, right? So you can help them on their journey, so that they can become the hero that they're always meant to be, right? So obviously, like the idea is, if you're thinking of Star Wars, you're Obi-Wan, right? Or you're Yoda. You're the one who's walking them through this journey. You're not the hero, like that's Luke Skywalker, right? But you're the person guiding them, right? So that's number 3. And number 4 is that you give them a plan, right? So how does your product get them to a better place in their journey, right? So you want to call that all out. Like, what's the process that you want to walk them through? Is there some type of an agreement in place, like some kind of risk reversal, a guarantee, something along those lines to help them to go along this path, because you're guiding them, right? You're giving them that plan. Your product, your brand is that plan that's going to make them so much better and make them to become the hero. So that's when you want to call out for number 4. So the next one is that helps them avoid failure. Something like, say, a lead magnet will help to avoiding failure, right? Where do you come up with like data that's going to support what issues that they're having and how your product will help them to avoid that failure that they could have before and that they could have if they don't have you as a guide, right? So that's the next one. That ends in a success. So after you get them to go on this journey and you call them out and you call them to action, like, what's the end result going to be, right? What will they get out of trying your product that's going to make the journey worth it? Like, that's going to help them to become the hero that they've always been meant to be, right? So after buying your product, how will that help them to defeat the villain that they've been trying to fight and just can't quite beat, right? That's what you've been trying to help them with as a guide, and that's what this product is ultimately going to do to help them become that hero. So call it out. How amazing things will be now that they have been successful and bought from you guys as a brand, right? So that's the idea here, with that ends in a success. And then the last part is that it ends with a character transformation. So what did they start like, and how have they changed since you helped them along their journey? So those are the 7 steps that if you actually think about it in terms of, those are most Hollywood movies, right? And now you can take them and you can start to take your ideal customer through this journey, get them excited, right? So that they can buy from you and be really excited, as you guys are the guide, right? They're the hero. So I would say this is an amazing book. And I thought the process about how to take your potential prospect from a cold lead to a raving fan who loves your brand was great. Like, don't try to be the hero, always be the guide. And when you follow this framework, you'll be exciting to your ideal customer, right? Which is what you want. You want your raving fans. You want those people that love anytime you're getting an email from them or messenger or anything like that. You want those fans that love to get a chance to hear from you and then to buy from you. So at this point, because you've done everything you can to make them the hero and give them what they've always wanted, these are the steps that are going to get them there and start to build up your list so it's engaged and that people are buying from you. So if you're looking for more tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income, then click the link below for a free cheat sheet. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to grow your list and build a real brand. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time.